I'd like to call it to order the February 11th, 2025 Transportation Authority of Calhoun County. And Madam Clerk, would you be willing to do the roll call? Madam Secretary, I'm sorry.
This is February 11th, 2025.
Make sure your mics are on also.
Eric Stewart. Amy Evans.
Here.
Vivian Davis. Tom Turkowitz.
Here.
Paul Watson. Janasia
Here.
Morris. And we have Christy. We don't have Mallory today.
Correct.
Okay,
So we have a quorum.
we have a form.
We got a fairly light agenda, but let's start by approval of the agenda. Is there any changes anybody needs to make? From technical staff or? Then I'll take a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Let me know if you need anything, man. I'm gonna. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda. We have the approval of the minutes of January 28th, 2025. Likewise, I'll take a motion second unless there's any changes.
So moved.
Support.
This time.
Are you down there?
Yeah. She is. You notice it's sort of lopsided. I'm on this side all alone and the three of you are over there. Okay, if there's no other changes, all in favor of approving the minutes of January 28th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We have approval. Public comments on agenda items. Anybody from the public? Quite group today. Nothing on the consent agenda. And review of the finance and budget report. Amy?
We keep getting our tax payments from the communities. Our interest for January was $3,930.91. And our total, we also did receive a certificate of liability insurance from Wirgis for the mailbox license agreement that we have with Battle Creek Unlimited, which is a requirement of that agreement. I have not yet met with Bridget to give her the check for we said we wanted to pay for the whole year. And so that will be happening potentially this week still. As well as I signed the agreement after we approved the resolution last time. So then she just needs to sign it and we'll be good with that. And our account balance at the moment is $2,614,605.54.
Thank you. Any questions for Amy? Moving on. We have no public hearings. If I could, new board member, Doug, do you know any scheduled date or from the county side for appointment?
We haven't gotten any recommendations yet from that, so, but yeah, I mean, at some point, we'll just kind of move ahead with our own, but at that point, I don't know, we'll be able to find a super plan from the finance side, we haven't had any.
I know Eric has a name. When's the county board meeting this month?
The 20th, I need to know today.
Okay.
Well, and we probably want action from you all. So yeah, I don't think we'll hit the 20th. It'd be the first meeting in March.
I really don't think. I'll look to the rest of the board, but I don't think you.
We probably don't need a recommendation from you.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do it by the end of the day.
Okay, Eric had some meetings today that conflicted, so I will drop him a text.
It'd be the first Thursday in March. So that's not too much for the
No. Okay. TACC RFP discussion. There is out on the streets right now a RFP for legal counsel and labor counsel. Those proposals come in February 19th. We'd like to bring that to the board for approval of those areas at our next board meeting on February 25th. So that should be on the agenda is approval, legal counsel and labor counsel. They could be one and the same. We don't know at this time.
Or it could be an individual in a firm or, could be any number of.
The other RFP that's going to be going out is for accounting services and marketing and communication. Separate ones. The plan is to have those proposals come in February 28th, and that would be on our March 11th agenda. It'd be for accounting services and then marketing and communication. Questions on those are things we needed to get going, and Amy has built, at least for the legal and labor, a matrix, scoring matrix. And then I guess Mallory was going to brief me on those other things, so I guess I'll just wait to get something from her, what else we need to do in the process. So unless you know, Christy, for sure. Okay. All right. New business. We were the TACC affiliations with local organizations. I'm not sure where that's at. I sent over, I think I copied all of you in the cost of joining the Marshall Chamber. I don't know if, I don't know about Albert.
Yeah, and I contacted the Albion Chamber and I got an affirmative, yes, we would love to affiliate with, but I asked for, now that you mentioned, I asked for an application and I didn't get the application, but I can stop by when we get, so we will have it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I personally think that it's good that we are part of our chambers. And Amy?
Yeah, your email reminded me to reach out to the Battle Creek Area Chamber of Commerce. I did so by email, using on their website to contact us, and I have not heard anything back, so I probably need to just stop down there.
Yeah, and almost need to do it in person a lot.
Did when I walked downstairs, that's the last meeting, so simple here, so. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Take a board action once we have all the costs and approve that so that we can join them. Okay, keep that on the agenda for the next meeting. Public comments on what is it? I guess there is no new business. Public comments on non-agenda items. Oh, come on up. No, I'm glad you're here.
Comments, questions, so.
Why don't you, at least for the record, just introduce yourself?
Sure, what the hey, my name is Eric Scott. I am a mechanic at transit. I'm also the union president of the ATU Local 1251, who works at Battle Creek Transit. Hello. I have some questions for my members that I'd like to ask. Hoping some others would be here today, other board members, but understandable. I appreciate the board for their participation and their volunteering for what they do. It's very much appreciated. My own personal first question is the board bylaws. I looked on the Ride Calhoun website and I could not find them anywhere. Are they available somewhere online, or how would I go about accessing them?
We need to get them posted if they're not there already. I know the articles of incorporation are, but
Okay.
it sounds like the bylaw are.
Right.
Okay, so we. need to
I just
have
couldn't
those
find them
posted.
anywhere.
Okay.
I usually don't touch the websites.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not a computer guy either.
Yeah, no, that would be in, we can also get you a copy.
Okay.
Hard copy.
I appreciate it.
Christie? Okay, if you can give that to, get a copy to Eric, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. On the public hearings portion of the agenda, I didn't understand what we were talking about. Does the TACC Board intend to initiate any public hearings in the near future? As far as what we are doing as a board or a corporation, I guess, with the money that's been collected thus far from the taxpayers.
Well, there will be public hearings on the way. The LAC, the local advisory Christie's working with, those are posted. Christie, could you slide just over just a little bit? Am I correct in that the LAC, you'll post your meetings, and all these are open to the public. A lot of things we do, and you've got 3 elected officials or former elected officials there. Budget usually is done at a public hearing type setting. And so, yeah, those, if it's required to do that, yeah, we will. But, I'm not sure what's coming up yet. Go ahead.
When I hear public hearings, I think of the requirement to have them when you receive federal funds.
Okay.
So I imagine once we are at the designated recipient.
After
which will
October.
be to be by October 1st, then we will be having official public hearings
Okay.
related to that funding. And I don't know, the state funding, I think, comes along with the federal funding, and I imagine the public hearing would probably be all the same. You've been doing that. I've been working on the housing side with federal funds, and that's how we do it with HUD funds.
Okay.
Through the state. So I guess I'm just presuming that FTA's funding works the same way. So Jeff's saying yes.
Sounds great. All right.
One thing that we're doing on an individual basis in our own individual communities is giving updates regarding what is happening with TACC, as well as if there are questions. And if there are questions, we can always bring them back.
Okay.
For, to share the concern.
Yeah.
So we can address it either on the web,
Mhm.
Frequently asked questions,
Right.
like it is, or directly.
Okay. Sounds great.
And I did just give an update at the last Battle Creek City Commission meeting about what's been taking place here.
Awesome. Thank you.
What I do with the Marshall City Council, each month I give them an update, a written update that's distributed to the elected officials. But again, if you have any questions.
Yeah.
We're not scary people.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be.
Yep. All right.
This is a small.
Yep. It's small board. Yeah. Yep. Another thing I have noticed, it's kind of been bugging me. We paid, I shouldn't say we allotted, what was it? Almost $50,000 to Bluefish to do our selling of the TACC. And we created a Facebook page and advertisements and everything. And since then, there has been, I should say, since November 7th, there's been no updates on the Facebook page. There's hardly any communication on that. And as a taxpayer, again, communication, I would see that as a issue. We sold the product and taxpayers have yet to see any update on that product.
What's your issue?
I think that with this marketing RFP that we have out,
Right.
that will help with that. So Bluefish was putting that information out for us.
Mhm.
And now that we don't have a contract with them anymore, I think that's kind of where the ball dropped.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's why we've been trying to go to our individual communities and give updates and things like that.
Right.
But I am anticipating when this marketing contract, whenever we get somebody to do this, we can definitely be more visible with social media again.
Also on
Yeah.
that, I'm on the senior millage allocation committee for the county. That came up that I did a presentation there last Friday. And that was one of the comments from somebody from Homer was saying, but has connections to Albion area,
Okay,
was saying that, she hopes that we will do more communication, so
Right.
it's even outside of this group, it's
Right.
more of the county areas that would like to know what's going on, but
Okay.
very good comment.
and I guess one last one, who answers the questions from the Ride Calhoun website? I have a union member who has asked questions and they have yet to receive any answer back, and it's been probably 2 weeks or so. And the last I talked to him, he had not received any communication back yet.
Look to the technical staff because I thought Mallory was doing that. Okay.
I'll get with her and see where we're at on those and if she needs any help with that.
Okay,
Excellent comments. That's what we need to hear.
I appreciate it.
Come
I
again.
appreciate your volunteering time and everything that you guys do to try and make our communities better. Appreciate
Well, I
it.
appreciate you coming over on your own time. You're volunteering to, and you're on vacation this week, so,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. We're going on vacation as soon as I leave here.
Okay,
Yep.
very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we're down to board and executive director comments, communications from the board.
I would like to hear more about what was some of the feedback or some of the concerns when you made the presentation to the senior millage.
Well, Senior Millage Allocation Committee is a board of 13 people from around the county.
Mhm.
Lots of questions. Some of the questions were, have we been contacted by entities, businesses outside of the 4 cities? And I said, we have. He was aware of that. One of the questions was about the communication that I mentioned, Isabel. And she was asking, and she very much would like to see Homer get involved in this, and questions about when service is going to be expanded to your 2 communities that don't have service right now. And I'm going around the room thinking, Chuck Asher is also on that, so he answered a few questions. I didn't think of it was more of fares, which is something else that I think we need to start developing, because I've had that question for months.
Every time I do too, yeah.
And the question that came up about fares, and the side question was about having discounts for seniors, which is required by federal law, I believe.
Mhm.
And disabled and seniors get a break. That question came up, but then questions about the fares within the community, or will the fares be different if someone needs to get cross town in Albion versus getting from Albion over to the fort?
Mhm.
And but that's something, that question came up a couple times. Those were the general ones. I mean, but Senior Millage Allocation Committee gives $500,000 a year for senior transportation in the county. So the allocation committee, we have about $3.5 million a year that we run on, and so it was. They're very interested in continuing good service. I had talked to Matt. There's been twice in the last couple weeks where community action shut down because of the weather. So I mentioned to Matt about the potential is there where our ridership could increase tremendously if community action was closed for the day, because people have to get to doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So it's going to be a monthly, we meet monthly. So I'm on the agenda an item on their meetings every month, so.
And those are pretty consistent with what I see.
Yeah, I think the same questions are out there. We all have, and it's just, I think getting the designated recipient status, that's a huge thing that Clark and Peter are working on, and then also the fleet coming in, which Mallory had said, I think there's 11 vehicles that are heading towards Battle Creek right now, but will look like Brad Calhoun.
Mhm.
A lot of people are very interested in this. I went to a doctor's appointment in Battle Creek last week, and I was there 6 months ago before the election, and that's the only time I go see him. And he brought up to me, he says, "Well, I saw it passed." You know, well, like, how do you remember with all these patients, you know, that I have a connection there? He must have something in his notes, the only thing. But there, you know, his office has a lot of people that come in for dialysis over in Battle Creek and for other things. So he's very interested about transportation.
Awesome.
A lot of people are interested. They're anxiously awaiting.
Mhm.
Okay, legislative updates. Technical staff? I do have a question, and I'll look to the sort of the three of you. The governor mentioned that she's putting $3 billion into road infrastructure, which is a little different than what the Republicans had 3.1 billion. But I tried to find the article online and I could not find it. There was a comment made on the news that I don't want to say 250 million, but it was a huge number was going to go to mass transit. I just was curious if you had heard anything.
That's the current governor proposal is that $250 would be directed at public transit all across the state, both rural and urban agency providers. Whether or not that comes through to fruition is yet to be seen. It's all based on Michigan legislature decides to do, but it's a great proposal. The Michigan Public Transportation Association saying that it's fantastic news, and it would help make ends meet for various public transit agencies across the state.
What do you know, Jeff, if that would go into the formula, or is it going to be more grant-based?
It would be state funding, so it would be funding available to match federal dollars likely, or it would be specialized service type funding, but it would be state funding. It would be, you know, probably rules yet to be written, or it would follow the typical state match of federal funding.
Because I know on Act 51, which we get our road monies for, there's a formula, but a lot of times the grants, they call pork barreling, but you know, they'll throw $100 million to this project or that project rather than putting it into the Act 51 formula. So I think something we should watch. And I know Mallory sent, there's a luncheon Thursday. I don't know if you saw that all, but up in Lansing, which Thursday morning is not supposed to be the best driving, but
Oh, the legislative the legislative.
it's
It's not the legislative. It's a lunch and learn. Okay.
with the transit, yeah. But so I think it's more dealing, probably that subject will come up also, but
Are you planning to attend?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. We just probably be asking what happened and, oh, okay. Right, yeah.
yeah, it's Thursday, 11 to 12 at House Office, Public Transportation Funding Forum.
Oh, okay.
It looks like there's no cost. And it's MPTA, Transportation Riders United, and Mass Trans. So. Okay. Since Jeff is here, any update from BCATS?
Sure.
Sure, always, yes. Gotta drag this meeting out somehow, so. Today's shift wants to get back to school, so.
Jeff Franklin, Executive Director of the Battle Creek Area Transportation Study, the Metropolitan Planning Organization representing the northwest corner of Calhoun County and hopefully representing TACC as eventually as well, come October. Current BCATS updates, we currently have a finance director position that has been posted with the Michigan Transportation Planning Association, Michigan Public Transportation Planning Association, Michigan Association of Planning, and the American Metropolitan Planning Organizations. We have a few received applications so far, but that finance director position doesn't close until next Monday, after which our BCATS policy committee members will start to process, the interviews and hopefully we get somebody on board. Right now it's a one-man show. Myself. And then the other big thing for the BCATS is currently monitoring the federal situation, I suppose it should call it. Just yesterday, another federal judge ruled that the administration, Federal Highway Administration, Federal Transit Administration, essentially USDOT, was still in violation of the order to pause federal funding payments through the various states and systems. While the memo from the Office of Management and Budget was rescinded, effectively not much had changed. Some states were still not processing, including our own. We're not processing federal payments through to various entities. From the BCATS perspective specifically, we have not been harmed in the fact that we're a reimbursement program. So all the work that we performed in January gets billed to the state in February. And we wouldn't expect that payment until sometime the end of February. So it gives me a few weeks to bide the time of the situation and for the state DOT to figure out whether or not they want to pay our bills. And there are lots of MPOs statewide that would be in the same situation, including large voices such as in Grand Rapids and Detroit. So we feel like we're fairly well represented. In addition to that situation, our American Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations, which represents about 410 of us nationwide, is currently lobbying very hard with USDOT, the administration, and the legislature to essentially keep their promises and to keep funding flowing. So we monitor, and that's where we're currently at right now, which is essentially kind of I don't know, other than USDOT has removed guidance from their website, which has led the state DOTs to wonder whether or not they should pay, because if they do, and then they're on the hook, nobody likes that. So we're in a wait and see motion. Hopefully I have a better update for you 2 weeks from now. That's all.
Oh, appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there anything from the audience, staff, board?
Yeah, one that I should have brought a public comment.
Calhoun County. I did have a commissioner ask, they had mentioned they heard there were townships that didn't opt in that were more interested now. That's about all I know. I haven't had a chance to talk with her further. I was just wondering if that had come here at all or if there were conversations happening.
I have not, Eric has not said anything to me. I have not heard that, and I see Christy shaking her head no.
Okay.
So I think it would be interesting to know who those townships are. You can let Eric know or myself, or that way we can, because I know many of the townships get service, here in Marshall as well as the Battle Creek area. So
Well, I'll reach out and see if I can find out who was interested.
that would be, it'd be interesting because I think they will be interested.
Yeah, and I mean the conversation is right that likely not until you can't opt back in until the millage goes up to ballot again. But there's things they could do to maybe join and pay into it anyhow. So well, I'll see where those conversations go.
Good, thank you.
I think it wants, we reach out to them as well if, if we know. I just wondered about some of the townships in our area.
Yeah, because our urbanized areas that, figure into the townships and they're going to, they think they're part of our cities, but they're not.
Well, the residents may be pushing it from behind too, because the residents are saying, oh, that's wonderful. I'll be happy when we get the transportation. And I said, well, as a township, you didn't opt in. And like, why not? Well, that's something. So there's going to be discussion because of this for sure.
Yeah. Well, we need to be there in the beginning with those discussions to keep the facts out there. If there are no other comments, we will adjourn at 9:30.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming over. You're out Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Director.